There is a DC villain that can hide almost anywhere and that no barrier can hold back, all packaged under the unassuming name of the Folded Man, who I will tell you more about on this episode of Lesser Evils. First appearing in The Flash, Volume 2, Issue 153, that came out in 1999, readers find Edwin Goss hiding inside a garage and hurriedly trying to finish something he is working on. A pair of police officers who had been demanding Goss exit the garage finally open the door and enter. Except for a diagram of the Folded Man's suit on the wall, there is no sign of Goss until the picture moves, causing a giant hand to appear and murder one of the officers. After the current Flash, along with the lead detective, investigates the crime, it leads them to the door of a local millionaire named Devlin Bridges, whose name couldn't be more douchey. Bridges reveals that he hired Goss to solve the problem of the unified field theory that would potentially allow for manipulation of space and time. Using Bridges' resources, Goss developed a suit that could transition from the third dimension into the second or fourth dimensions. Just as Bridges mentions the strike force he has hired to hunt down Goss, the Folded Man slides under their feet before surprising the group and attempting to kill Bridges. The Flash saves Bridges, but takes a big boot from the Folded Man from out of nowhere. When an employee of Bridges arrives to check on the noises, she appears to be killed by the Folded Man. After the Flash removes Bridges and the detective from the scene, the hero learns that the Folded Man can become like a living picture, or reach from the fourth dimension into the third from any point and attack. The Folded Man arrives soon after, and the Flash manages to get one good hit on the villain before getting his ass handed to him. While the Flash is momentarily incapacitated, the Folded Man brings the hero into the fourth dimension. Believing the Flash is no longer a problem, the Folded Man resumes his attack on Bridges and the detective from the fourth dimension. Figuring out a way to escape, the Flash uses the Folded Man as a bridge to escape back to the third dimension. Grabbing Bridges and the detective again, the Flash moves them to a closed construction site. The Folded Man is right behind them and knocks the Flash aside, but is attacked by the arriving strike force Bridges had hired to capture Goss. Using his abilities, the Folded Man causes the attackers to watch in horror as their legs seemingly unfold from beneath them. Taking a moment to speak, the Folded Man reveals a part of his deal with Bridges that the businessman didn't tell the Flash. Goss had a daughter with a rare condition that Bridges was supposed to treat in return for Goss working on the suit. Just after the suit was finished though, Goss's daughter died of a medical error that Bridges is blamed for. Coming up with a strategy, the Flash waits for the moment when the Folded Man attacks from the fourth dimension, then hurls a series of metal bars at the villain. These metal bars have been made intangible and pierce through the Folded Man before becoming solid again. Stuck halfway between the third and fourth dimensions, Goss is captured, but the metal bars prevent the suit from being removed, so the Folded Man is simply taken to a lab for study. Roughly a year later, during the Sins of Youth Kid Flash and Impulse special, the Folded Man is free and targets Bridges again, this time while the man is at his home that apparently doubles as an office. The Folded Man is angry Bridges put a bounty on his head and wants to return the favor by dropping the man and his home between dimensions, because that's the appropriate reaction. Two Flashes arrive to stop the Folded Man, but their initial direct approach only leads to the Folded Man effortlessly tossing them back outside the home. Using his knowledge of future video games, specifically Tezzar Etris, Impulse figures out a way to stop the house from being destroyed long enough to save the lives of everybody inside, including Bridges. Fuck, I love comics. The house does end up being destroyed though, and the Folded Man escapes much to Bridges' frustration. Following this appearance, the Folded Man doesn't make any more major appearances. He makes a Where's Waldo-like background appearance hanging out at the local supervillain black market, and at some point was arrested and transported to Iron Heights Penitentiary. The Folded Man attends the funeral of Digger Harkness alongside many more of the Flash's rogues, then is almost stepped on by Doomsday in the Battle of Metropolis during the Infinite Crisis. At some point, the Folded Man was being held in a special research facility for energy-based metahumans. When the facility has a breakout, the Folded Man is one of the many prisoners who attempt to escape. Post-Flashpoint, the Folded Man is among the villains who attempt to escape Iron Heights when the prison is broken open by Captain Cold. Unfortunately, he underestimates Iris West, and she knocks him away before the Flash arrives on the scene. During the events of Forever Evil, Gorilla Grodd leads a murderous takeover of Central City, and the Folded Man is warned to stay away if he values his life. A brand new Folded Man was introduced in The Flash Volume 4 Annual Number 4 that came out in 2015. The longtime foe of the Flash, Zoom, travels through time finding and befriending several Speed Force-empowered individuals. In 1800s Africa, Zoom finds a man named Zolani, who uses his abilities to travel through dimensions to steal from the oppressive white men who make his people mine diamonds. Zoom approaches Zolani and reveals to him the source of his gifts, but their conversation is cut off when Zolani sees smoke in the distance. The smoke is revealed to come from Zolani's freshly destroyed village, where he also finds the body of his dead wife. In return for helping Zolani get his revenge on the white men, Zoom convinces the man to join his team. Unbeknownst to Zolani, his destroyed village and the death of his wife were orchestrated by Zoom to gain his trust. Alongside 4 other metahumans, Zolani is trained by Zoom for years to combat the Flash, all of them kept the same age thanks to the powers of another teammate. The group goes into action for the first time to capture Henry Allen, the father of the Flash, while he was being transported to prison. The truck is stopped, but the Flash arrives soon after only to be confronted by the new Folded Man. After taunting the Flash, the Folded Man grabs the hero and transports him 2,000 feet beneath the Pacific Ocean. Elsewhere, Zoom is looking for more power and uses a device to steal Speed Force power from one of the team. During the fight between Zoom and the Flash, Zoom reveals his manipulation of his team to get them to join his cause. Working together with a teammate, the Folded Man causes Zoom to break the Speed Force stealing device. With the life of their leech teammate at risk, the group gathers together and the Folded Man teleports them away, and they haven't been seen since. So why do I think the Folded Man is worth taking a look at? Speaking about the first Folded Man, I think he had a really cool power set. Turning 2D, he could become flat and seemingly cross any surface stealthily, even underneath people's feet. Then using his 4D powers, the Folded Man could attack from any direction, at any time, and had a seemingly high level of superhuman strength. Then there is the one instance he caused the men's legs to unravel like folded paper, which was a cool way to disable someone. Or what seems to be the instance he cuts a woman in half with his 2D form. Edwin Goss was a certified genius and was compared to Mr. Terrific, which is a big deal if you know who Michael Holt is. That puts him in the top echelon of the smartest guys in DC Earth. For all of these perks, this Folded Man was only used a handful of times in his 15 years of existence. I'd love to learn the story of what the hell he's been up to during all that time. Taking a look at the second Folded Man, he seems like a nerfed version of the original, but was still unique in his look and approach. This Folded Man was a team player and worked well alongside them. He loyally stuck by his teammates when they rebelled against Zoom to protect one of their own. I would love to see a story where the 2 Folded Men meet face to face, maybe slug it out, or merge and become the extra Folded Man. Whatever happens, I want to see again a villain that could effortlessly break into the White House, the Batcave, or the Fortress of Solitude and escape right under the hero's feet.